Hi, my name is Brandon, and I'm an alcoholic and addict in recovery. As someone in recovery, it's really easy for me to talk about how great life is without alcohol and drugs, and how great it is to be free of addiction and everything that went along with it. But it's easy to overemphasize that, and it's important to recognize that life is life. There's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days, there's going to be good times, and there's going to be times that are a huge, huge struggle. And this really came to mind when I was reading a passage from This Naked Mind by Annie Grace today. I want to read what she wrote because I think it really encapsulates the way we need to be prepared to live life in recovery. And I want to talk a little bit about how the first little bit of recovery can be kind of a little bit of a letdown when all of a sudden life starts roaring back at you. So she says, this is life, real life. You'll have good days, great days, bad days, and horrible days. That's okay. Remember, if drinking made you happy, you would never have been unhappy as a drinker. Alcohol doesn't make you happy, but we know it can make you very unhappy. It's okay to live this life as it is in all its raw, naked beauty. It's okay to cry, to scream, to be frustrated, and to feel. This is your life, and it's the only one you get. Accept it and accept yourself. You are an incredible human being, and you have so much to give. If you have a great day, live it up. If you have a shit day, remember it will pass. And if for some reason it doesn't pass, if ceasing to self-medicate through alcohol reveals that you are indeed struggling with depression or anxiety, please get help. Remember, alcohol was never helping. It was hiding a real issue that needs to be fixed. It is important to find the right treatment. Depression is not a weakness. It is a disease. You can find help that will actually improve your life rather than steal it like alcohol does. Please do so. So I want to go back to the beginning of this paragraph where she talks about there will be good days, there will be bad days, there will be great days, and there will be horrible days. And that is 100% true. And right at the beginning of when you start to recover, when you've stopped using alcohol or drugs, a lot of people experience what people refer to as the pink cloud, where life just seems awesome. Things could not get better. Everything's going so smoothly. You feel like the world has just opened up to you. And that's really because it has. You are experiencing life outside of the prison of addiction. You're experiencing a life with freedom like you haven't had in months or years or decades even. And that creates this feeling like you're kind of floating on air. And I loved that first few months and spent a lot of time enjoying it with people who were in recovery who had just started, just like me, who were just starting out on their journey. And we all went through our pink clouds together. But very, very surely for all of us, the pink cloud period started to dissipate some. And for all of us, we started to experience the regular stresses of life. Those of us who had gone back to some kind of outpatient treatment had to eventually get back to work. There were deaths in the family to deal with. There were stresses at home to deal with. We had to start really dealing with what in AA is referred to as the wreckage of our past, the things that we had done in our addiction that now people expected us to come back and make some amends for or to do something to fix. Many of us had some kind of jail or law-related problems we had to deal with. All of these things came back and started making life feel real again. And the problem with addiction is that we use alcohol and drugs so that we don't have to deal with the realities of life, so that we can make those realities a lot more numb and not feel the effects of them as much. So learning to allow the reality of life to impact me, and then to feel those feelings, and then to process them, has become a crucial part of my recovery. And I've been terrible at it. So I have to use tools to do that. Prayer, and prayer specifically, either asking for help or for gratitude, has been a huge part of it. And before you, if you're not someone who believes in God, you don't need to believe in God to say the kind of prayers that I'm talking about. All you have to do is put it into the universe. I need help. Here's what I need help with, or what I don't know how to do with. And give that a try. Even if you don't believe in a higher power or a God, the next time you're experiencing a problem you don't know how to do with, just say, I need help. I don't know what to do. Please help me figure this out. And see what happens. See what happens. May not happen immediately, but I'm telling you, just by thinking about problems in that way, and just by putting them out into the universe, a lot of times your brain does some work that it doesn't do when it's just dwelling inside your skull. When your brain gets an opportunity to express its needs, a lot of times it can provide its own solutions. But as addicts, we don't give our brains the opportunity to do that. We sulk, we get caught up in our self-pity, we think the world is happening to us, and we never get our brains the opportunity to say, hey, I need a hand here. Same thing with what she's talking about with depression or anxiety. If you continue to experience depression and anxiety as part of your life after you've entered recovery, do not hesitate to seek help for that. And there are plenty of places that will offer free help for those kinds of things if you are in a position where you're unable to pay for it, or you don't have insurance to pay for it. So find the resources you need and then seek it out. If you're on medication for these things, take it religiously. Do not skip it, because as soon as you do, and as soon as your brain chemistry starts to get wobbly again, that's when the chances for recurrence of alcohol or drug use start to increase. And that's something that I'll discuss more tomorrow. But when you really, really have an issue that needs medication to help, like I do, I take my medication religiously every morning. And I didn't used to do that. In my addiction, it was kind of like, well, I'll take it when I feel like it, which doesn't make any sense. That's like saying you'll take your heart medication when you feel like your heart needs it. I don't know when my heart needs to be medicated. My doctor tells me when my heart needs to be medicated, and I have to do it on a daily basis in order to get the benefits of the medicine. Same thing with medicine for depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, whatever disorders you might be coming to the table with as part of your recovery. The last thing that I'll say is that life is going to be tough. That seems to be the common thread with every life that I have encountered. Nobody that I've met has it perfect. Nobody that I've met has no tale of strife. But I'll tell you the difference that I've noticed in people. People who are successful in recovery have gratitude in their hearts despite anything they've gone through. So they could have gone through these terrible, terrible things. Loss of a child, loss of a wife or spouse, horrible health issues, horrible legal issues. But when you ask them, how has life treated you? They will say things like, I don't deserve everything I've got. Because they're so full of gratitude for what life has given them, despite what life has taken away. And that's where we want to be in recovery. We want to be in a position where no matter what is going on, no matter what's happened, at the end of the day, we are giving thanks for the life we have and what's going on with it. And that's a hard pill to swallow some days, believe me. In the 2 years that I've been at this, which is not a long time, I've had some days where it's been really tough to lay down at the end of the night and say thanks for the day that I had. But I always do it because I know that the days that I make it through those hard days and I'm still sober are the ones to be most thankful for. That's all for today. I'll be back tomorrow with more. Have a good one.